Imagine it's a Monday morning. Your phone is a waterfall of notification. The pre-market data is looking volatile. A key executive just handed in their resignation. A competitor just launched a product that threatens your Q4 targets. And in the middle of all this, you have a board meeting in 20 minutes. As a CEO, you aren't managing a company, you are managing a storm. Most of the leadership book tells you how to fight the storm. They talk about crushing it, pivoting, and disrupting it. But what if the secret to elite leadership wasn't about fighting the waves, but about becoming the ocean itself? Today we are decoding Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 verse 70. We are going to explore how an ancient Sanskrit shlok can become an operating system for the unshakable CEO. Just as the ocean remains undisturbed by the incessant flow of water from rivers merging into it, only the person who is not disturbed by the flow of desires can attain peace, not the person who seeks to satisfy those desires. On the surface, there may be white caps and storm, but at a depth, absolute stillness. Now, think about the rivers. In life of a CEO, the rivers are the endless streams of desires and inputs. The desires for higher stock prices, the desire for industry awards, the fear of market crash, the ego-driven need to be right in every meeting. The verse tells us that the river will enter. You cannot stop the rivers from flowing into the ocean. You cannot stop the market from being volatile. But the sage CEO process these inputs without letting their internal levels rise or fall. When your internal peace is dependent on external KPIs, you are a pond leader. You are reactive. You are easily disturbed. The, and what you need to do is basically develop the ocean mindset. What is ocean mindset? And that is the unshakable CEO who leads from place of fullness. When you are ocean like, your self-worth and strategic clarity are not tied to the river of the daily news. Does the ocean rejects the river? No. It welcomes the water, it absorbs it, it integrates it. As a leader, this means you don't ignore the problem, you don't hide from the data, you accept the river of information, but you don't let it change your temperature. You remain achal, which is unmoving. But verse 70 makes a subtle, brilliant distinction. It says peace belongs to one who is not a desirer of the desire. What does this mean for you? It means there is a difference between having a goal and being possessed by a goal. The driven leader wants to win, but if they lose, their core remains intact. They analyze the failure, adjust the sails, and move on. The attached leader needs to win to feel the whole thing. When they lose, they spiral out of control. They blame the team. They make the desperate short term decisions to fix their ego. The unshakable CEO uses goal as a compass, not as a crutch. When you are disturbed by the desire for success, you are actually becoming more likely to achieve it. Why? Because your vision isn't clouded by anxiety. You see the board clearly. You make the cold move from everyone else is acting out of the heat. Why see this ocean mindset in some of the greatest turnaround in corporate history? Let's explore these examples. Think of Mr. Satya Nadella taking over Microsoft. When he arrived, the rivers of internal politics and desires to crush the competitor were overflowing the banks. The company was very reactive. Mr. Nadella shifted the culture to learn it all instead of know it all. He brought a sense of equanimity, a steady mind back to the campus. He didn't stop the rivers of competition from flowing. He simply made Microsoft's ocean deeper so it could absorb the change in the industry without losing its identity. Think of a CEO like Jensen Huang at the Nvidia. For decades, the rivers of market doubts were flowing in. People said the tech was too niche. The stock stayed flat. But because his mind was ocean like, established in the vision, he wasn't disturbed by the lack of immediate gratification. He stayed achal. How do you apply verse 70 tomorrow morning? Here is the ocean protocol for your workday, which is tomorrow. First, practice the buffer zone between rivers and the ocean. Create a space when the bad news hits. Don't reply instantly. Breathe. Remind yourself, I am the ocean. This is just a river. It cannot change my level. Second, audit your river's identity. Which river disturbed you the most? Is it social media criticism? Is it your competitors' growth? Once you name them, they lose their power to disturb your stillness. Right? Number 3, lead from stillness. Not stress before your next meeting. Take 2 minutes of silence. Not to plan your talking points, but to find that achal, unmoving spot in your mind. Speak from that depth. People follow leaders who are calm. They do not merely obey leaders who are loud. So the world will never stop sending rivers your way. The market never be quiet. Your inbox will never be empty. But as Bhagavad Gita 2.7 teaches us, peace doesn't come from stopping the river. Peace comes from being so vast, so deep, and so grounded that no amount of external input can shake your internal foundations. Become an ocean. Let the river flow. Remain unshakable. Friends, what do you think about this? Thank you for joining this exploration of ancient leadership. If this lesson resonates with your executive journey, share it with your other fellow leaders and join me back again in the next one.